Since getting drafted, Victor Wembanyama has gotten some of the most praise I've ever seen a player get, and after an incredible rookie season, he definitely deserved it. But what he just did at the Paris Olympics might be even crazier than what he did in the NBA. At just 20 years old, Wemby led France in basically every statistical category. A lot of the times, he was their main source of offense while also being the team's best defender. He was able to take over multiple different games, and France never would have won a silver medal without him. And there's no shame in losing to that Team USA roster. France really could have won the entire thing if it wasn't for the US assembling the actual Avengers. They definitely had a favorable whistle and honestly should have lost to Japan, but still, even with all that happening, they played extremely well. Wembanyama even made the All-Olympic team with guys like LeBron, Jokic, Curry, and Dennis Schroeder. Being the best player on the second best team in the world at just 20 years old is actually unreal. I don't know if we've seen a player this young dominate on such a big stage. Then, seeing him crying after the game shows you how much the whole thing really meant to him. Most players his age would say, well, I'll be back for the next one. But this Olympics obviously meant a lot more than normal because he was playing in front of his home crowd. A silver medal is still a major accomplishment, especially because there were multiple really solid teams this year. Germany, Serbia, Canada, France, USA, Australia, Greece, you get the point. There were so many teams that had good rosters and were truly competing. And if it wasn't for Curry going nuclear in the final minutes, then who knows how that gold medal game could have ended. Even after that game, he said, "I'm learning and I'm worried for the opponents in a couple of years." The person responded saying FIBA or the NBA, and Wemby's response was everywhere. It seems like he almost plays better when he goes up against better teams. Even some of his best games in the NBA were against some of the top teams in the league. He just always plays with a chip on his shoulder. He wants to show everyone why there's so much hype around him. What's crazy though is that by the time the 2028 Olympics come around, Wemby will still only be 24 years old. It won't be until the 2032 Olympics where we could actually see him in his prime, as long as he stays healthy, of course. We knew Victor was going to be just fine after what we saw in the NBA, but I didn't really expect him to do the exact same thing on a global stage. He had more blocks than any other player and was second in rebounds. Like I said earlier, he led France in every statistical category. Wemby was blocking shots, grabbing rebounds, finishing around the rim, and of course shooting pull-up threes. There were multiple plays he had that left you wondering how that was even possible. He's one of the most unique players we'll ever see. But if we're being honest, France actually could have been so much better than they even were. One of the team's biggest issues was their lack of guard play, or their lack of a true playmaker. Wemby led the team in assists with just 3.3 a game. Yeah, less than 3.5 assists a game was enough to be their assist leader. It just shows how little they were getting each other open. He was 21st in assists per game and somehow still led the team. I feel like if you play with Wemby, you should be guaranteed like 5 extra assists a game, so I don't even know how that happens. Then when it came to rebounding, he averaged 9.7 a game, with the next highest being Nick Batum, who averaged just 4.2 a game. He had double the next highest rebounder on the team. Yes, he is like 14 feet tall, so he should be getting a ton of rebounds, but still, nobody else on the team even being close is kinda wild. Scoring was the only thing that was decently spread out. However, there were definitely times where the offense got kind of predictable and stagnant. It also felt like watching the Spurs at the beginning of last season. Wemby was wide open so many times in the paint and they just did not even look for him. But at the same time, I'm not going to act like Wemby was perfect either. He definitely had flaws himself. There were times when he actually did get the ball in the paint and wasn't even looking to score. He was doing a ton of drop-offs with his back to the basket instead of going up, which did lead to some good passes, but it also led to him just passing up open shots. That, or he would just settle for unnecessary threes, which we saw a ton throughout his rookie season. He definitely still needs to tweak his shot selection and focus more on being a menace in the paint offensively. Instead of trying to be a 3-level scorer, I think he should focus on being in the paint first and then stretching the floor as he needs to. Although him being able to pull up and shoot whenever he wants does make him extremely unpredictable. And even in the games he wasn't really scoring, he was the perfect decoy. But despite them not playing as good as they could have throughout the tournament, they still played really good. I mean, they won a silver medal for a reason. And I know I've been highlighting one player, but there were still multiple guys that played great. The French Ben Wallace was absolutely dominant and had a wild poster on LeBron. Evan Fournier had some huge moments, including a half-court 3 to seal one of the games. Rudy Gobert didn't play much in the final games, but did play a pretty big role in the division games. Nick Batum was one of their best overall players, and Lazort had some great moments as well. Multiple players on the team showed out, especially once the elimination game started. And knowing that multiple of the top picks over the past few years have been French, this team is only gonna get better. Then for Wembanyama, his career is only just beginning, and the experience he was able to gain by playing in the Olympics will definitely show. Again, everything he's done so far at just 20 is insane. I don't think people even realize how crazy it is. He's clearly getting more and more confident, and I expect he's gonna take another big leap forward. I'm not going to claim he's the next GOAT after just one season, but I can't acknowledge what he's done in such little time. And in this coming season, he'll be out for a vengeance. But let me know down in the comments what you think about Wembanyama's Olympic run, and leave a like on the video to support the channel. Also subscribe if you're new for more basketball videos just like this one.